break up. Now every day I wake up, somebody.
What's up, folks? Peter Fody here, FodySports.com. I have a special guest with me here today, Daniel Toscano. Daniel, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Daniel Toscano. I am the first cousin of Peter Fody, and this is Fody Sports.
Daniel is a junior in high school. He's got great insights into the sports world, and today we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? The Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
And how it is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Pathetic.
All right. So essentially, here's what happened. I tuned into the Pro Bowl last night, and being a former football player, watching quite a bit of football, you could tell when people aren't trying whatsoever. And it was very clear to me that in the Pro Bowl, all they do is basically walk around. You don't put up 41 and 34 points if the defenses are playing up to their ability. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I do. There was no pass rush. No one was trying to do anything. The defense was just walking around, pretty much like a practice.
On one particular play, I know Frank Gore got a handoff. He ran into the defensive line, and then the whole play just stopped. What was it Hello T Nata or whatever? Backed them up a couple yards, and they blew the whistle. Clearly, this is not what fans want to see. I don't know why you would pay to go to that game. Now, the opposite is true with the Senior Bowl, right? You got the Senior Bowl. It's the last chance for the to make an impression on the NFL coaches.
That's
right?
a game that's worth your money.
For sure. Anytime you can get top-tier competition playing to their fullest potential, that's what people want to see. I would be on first playing tomorrow for next year's Senior Bowl if I had the opportunity. What do you think about the Senior Bowl and
I think it's
Pro Bowl?
great because in the Senior Bowl, everyone that's in it is working their hardest to make their point about how they should be respected at the next level. At the Pro Bowl, they have the talent. All the big names are there, but no one wants to put up an effort.
They just don't care.
Exactly.
That's, to some extent, it's understandable because you don't want to get hurt for whatever reason. But now let's talk about how, first of all, the Pro Bowl being in Miami and it being before the Super Bowl. Last night, there was 14 players between the Colts and the Saints that were unable to play due to the Super Bowl next week. Now, can you really say it's a Pro Bowl with the best players in the NFL when the top two quarterbacks, arguably, and the best defensive end, Dwight Freeney, and all these guys that can't play due to the Super Bowl? Does that make any sense, Dan?
No, it makes no sense. I don't know why they decided to do it like this. I mean, you have no benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to do it like that.
So what do you think is how could they fix it?
I really don't see any other way than having the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Do you think they should move it back to Hawaii? I mean, I know that the next 2 years is going to be in Hawaii, but would you prefer Miami or Hawaii?
I'd prefer Hawaii. I think yesterday should have been the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the week right after should be the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. All the players from the Super Bowl can travel to Hawaii, relax, have a little vacation, play in the Pro Bowl. I think it'd be a lot better.
Mm-hmm. One thing you touched on, too, is, you have the end of the regular season. Now you got 2 weeks until the Super Bowl. And see, in college, it's a different scenario because you've got, 100 different bowls. So I can understand, waiting for the national championship while you play all these rinky-dink bowls. And then you get to the big dance. I'm not saying I agree with the bowl system, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Like, the way they have it set up is the best possible.
Yeah, there's no other way they could do it.
Right. The 2 weeks off is unnecessary. I would go as far as to say it's stupid. But I guess it is what it is. The one plus I would say is if you have guys that are hurt, because you want the 12 best players on the field at all times. Did I say 12? 11, excuse me. Like Dwight Freeney's hurt right now with his ankle injury, so you want to give him enough time to recover as possible so that there's no stones left unturned when the game's over. The Colts aren't going to say, well, we didn't have so-and-so, or the Saints are going to say we didn't have so-and-so. 2 weeks will get everybody enough time to recover, but it's the NFL. Injuries happen every single play.
I agree with that to a great extent. But I also say, what happens if during the Pro Bowl everyone's putting out their best effort and all of a sudden Peyton Manning goes down and he's got a
Right.
broken leg and he's out.
And that's what it
missing
is.
some time next year.
When you play in the NFL, those are the risks that you take.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be talked about throughout the whole next year
Mm-hmm.
if that were to happen.
And, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yeah.
You know, if the Lakers get to the NBA championship and Kobe Bryant goes down, obviously everyone's going to say, well, if we had Kobe, we wouldn't have lost. And you know a little saying I like, Dan?
What is it?
The saying goes, if the dog didn't stop to take a shit, he would have caught the rabbit. Do you understand what that means?
I do understand.
So,
It's great logic.
you know, when you're playing sports, it is what it is. If you get hurt, you got to deal with it. Whoever's out on the field or the court or whatever is who you got to...
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So, that's all for today at Fody Sports. I'd like to thank Dan, my co-host today. Look forward to having him back on in the future. He provides great insights, like I said. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.